All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to be working on the reds. Got everything set up. I got the bowl here to get all the plants out. I got the catch basin here. I got my nets within reach. So let's get some plant matter out. Now the reds, I know, I've seen quite a few of them in these plants. So there's a good chance that I will be having red shrimp in this bowl later. We'll check that when we're done. Once I get most of the bigger vegetation off the top, I'll run the net through and get all the duckweed out and put it in the other tank for the goldfish, like I've done with all the others. So I'm trying not to let this nasty little plant in my new tanks, just because it gets so bad. It blocks out all the light, killing off all my other vegetation because it's not letting light through for them to grow. That's the only reason I'm taking the time to do this, is so I don't get nets full of this stuff when I'm trying to catch the shrimp. Pretty sure I just saw a shrimp hanging onto that one that I pulled out. Like I said, we will have to go through here and inspect it when I'm done. So far, the yellow tank, I found 2 babies in the plants I pulled out. The blue tank, I didn't find any. They all seem to have gotten off of the plants before I got the plants out. Or as I was getting them out, I should say. The reds has yet to be determined what we'll find. Like I said, I think I saw one, but I don't, without getting the flashlight and really looking at it close up, I don't know for sure if it was a shrimp or just me seeing things. I mean, as small as some of these baby shrimp are, all right, that's good enough. Take that. Get my little net. I don't have a lot of time today because I'm going to a concert this evening, but I figured I'd work on the shrimp while I could before I got to get ready. Oh, there's shrimp in there. Okay, so this time, since I can already see the shrimp on there, I'm not putting it in my big tank because I want my reds to stay out of my big tank. I want them to stay in the red colony. So I'm going to put them in here and I'll just have to fish that one out when we're ready. There we go. All right. So now that the red tank is cleared off, for the most part, set that there. Now we're going to start getting us some shrimp. Let's see. Let's just do a scoop with the trusty white little basket net here and see what kind of numbers we can come up with. Ooh, wow, quite a few numbers. And itty bitty babies. Holy cow, they're so small. You can hardly even see them, they're so small. The reason I can tell they're there is because they're moving against a white background. I will try my best to show some of these babies off when I get a chance. Let all them critters come out of this net real quick. That was one scoop in the red tank. As you can see, it's mostly babies. A couple that looks to be juveniles, and then one adult. Ooh, yeah, it's safe to say I got lots of reds. Look at all of those shrimpies. Let's see if we can get some more, shall we? Now, not all of these, excuse me, not all of these colonies has the catfish. This one, however, does. I don't know if there's 2 or 3 in here. I found the first one. Got one. And you know what? Just for the fun of it, we're taking the wood out now too. Too much hiding in it. So the wood, take the moss off of it. It's not ready for that yet. All right, well, at the moment, I don't see where the other catfish is. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and add this, what we've gotten so far, to the red tank. First things first, I'm just going to take this little piece of wood that was in there and I'm just going to drop it. It had a shrimp on it. Alright, now let's see if we can do the release shot again here. A whole bunch of reds and a catfish coming out. Not bad. For our first container from the red tank, I think that was a pretty good catch. Some little guys in the plants. All kinds of them in there. Going down in there. We got our one catfish. So I know there's at least one more in the tank, if not 2. Just got to figure out where they're at, and I'll get them too. Alright. Container number 2 going into the red tank. I got the second catfish, and I got a whole bunch more shrimp. I did find one of the snails from the red tank. It's right there. I don't know if it's alive. It don't look like it's alive. It looks like it's just a shell. So we'll see if actually anything happens there, but I think that snail died. And let's get some shrimpies in the tank. I'll have to get all the floaty stuff netted out a little bit later once it all settles down a bit. But yeah, that is 2 containers in on the reds. Starting to be able to see a little bit more life in there now when you look around. Yeah. Alright, so we are trying something here. Just for the hell of it, I put some of the shrimp sinking pellets in there that fall apart. I'm going to leave them in the net, kind of just like that. I'm going to see as those come apart, if it attracts some of this mass of shrimp in there, maybe I can just pull the net up and easily get a whole bunch. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. They're in there. I'll give it a few minutes and I'll come back and check on it. Well, it's been about 10 minutes. I was coming back to check. And I think it's safe to say my little trap has worked. Look at all the reds that are in that net. Should I pull it now and get them? Or let it sit a little bit longer? Because there's still a whole bunch out all over this tank that are not in there. Because as soon as I take that net out, the food unfortunately is coming with it. It flakes apart like that, so when it comes out with all those shrimp, it's going straight into the red tank with them. The red colony will just get some extra food today. Look at them all. Wow, I'm going to sit here and watch this for a minute. Just real quick, I think it's safe to say that the plants had some shrimp on them. See if I can find them again. I just had a whole bunch of them in here. There's a couple. There's one that went. There's one swimming. There's another one. Yeah, there's quite a few in here. So this is going to be fun to weed them out when I'm done. But that's why I put them in a bowl, so all those reds don't end up in my big tank. Alright. I'm sitting here still watching. Thinking about pulling the trap. There's one really big one that's flirting with going in. I was waiting to see if it's going to... Oh. If it goes in, I'm pulling this trap. I think I got a lot of reds in that net. Unfortunately, with the duckweed's in there, but I can deal with the duckweed real quick. Give me just a second. Alright, got that net full of massive reds with all their food. I'm going to put it right over here in the fountain. The bubbles are just going to blow the food all over the place. Which is actually what I've been letting happen. It seems to settle wherever it wants in the tank. And then the shrimp have food all over. Come on, out of the net. The big one that I wanted won't come out of the net now. Alright, I think that's everybody. Yep, empty clean net. So yeah, they will clean up all that food that's floating and settling. They do a very good job of cleaning up the food. And you can see there's just, I mean, there's reds all over now. Alright, let's do some more. I wanted to show this one real quick. I managed to get her by herself. You can see she's kind of laying sideways at the second. You can kind of see she's buried. How her back end is so dark. That's why I managed to, I saw her and I wanted to get her before she pops her babies in that little tank. So I got her and let her pop her babies in this tank instead. I did move the questionable snail to right there on the rock, and it has not moved at all. I'm pretty sure that's just a dead shell. But I moved it, figured, well, try just in case, keep an eye on it. Yeah, there you go. That's all I'm going to do for right now. I got to do some other stuff around the house, so I'll do some more later. Alright, I managed to find both snails, although I do not know if either one is alive. Set them both right there on top of the rock. We'll come back later and see if either one of them has moved. Well, a little bit of good news in the snail department. The snail that's currently in the blue colony, I found one of them and it is still alive. It has been moved. He's doing his thing. The two that I put in here still have not moved at all. I'm afraid they have passed. Alright, we'll finish this one off for today. Got plans this evening, so I'm going to call it quits. That's what the red tank is looking like currently. See, there's still quite a few shrimp in there. That is the blue tank. currently. Some shrimp still, you can see quite a few in there too, actually. Not as bad though. That's the green colony that has not been even started really. I took out that starter colony and haven't touched it since. It's still got the plants. Still hard to see. This will be the one that I work on probably tomorrow. And then as you can see, the yellow colony. Not a lot of life left in this one. There's a lot of babies in here that you can't really pick up on camera too well. Let me see, there's one right there. See, they're itty bitty. There's actually, I believe, a smaller one. Let me pull this filter out real quick. You see that little one darting around down there? The babies are so small. Put the bubbles back. Yeah, so that's the state of the beginner colonies that I had. They're still cooking, still supporting shrimp. Now we'll move on to my new tanks. Currently, we'll start with the yellows. This one's doing pretty good. I have not found anything dead in here yet. This tank currently has one Nerite snail, 2 Otocinclus catfish, 1 albino bristlenose, and 1 guppy. And then my yellow colony is in here. There's one of the Otos. We'll see, everything seems to be doing quite well. You can see right here the difference in the bottom. That's where there's going to be a plant in the future. Just haven't ordered them yet because it's scorching outside. I don't want them to die in transit. You can see they're back there. I don't know if anyone's using the Pleco cave yet or not. They're on the filter, they're in the plants. Doing pretty good. Like I said, the green doesn't really have a lot of going on in it. It's got some algae buildup, which I'm not too happy about. I need to get some more shrimp in here. Work on that tomorrow. This one has only got 10 or 15 shrimp in it. And it also has the other baby bristlenose. And it also has a guppy, which I can't seem to... Oh, there's the guppy. And like I said, 10 or 15 green shrimp, of which I don't see any currently. Oh, wait, maybe. Yep, there's one. It's a little... Looks a little more blue than green, but they're in there. So, and then let me get the chair over here. I'll show you my red colony. What I've got so far, at least. This tank has my red shrimp, which you can see I've moved quite a few into this tank already, and there's a lot more to come. They're everywhere. This tank also has an albino bristlenose pleco. It's a bigger male that I have, hoping to use for breeding in the future. And this tank also, oh wow, he's actually out, has a baby platy living in it, which I don't see every day, so it's nice that I actually got to see him today. But yeah, the reds are doing nicely. Everything seems to be thriving. I haven't found any dead ones yet. I check every time I walk by. I just give them a glance, see how they're doing. There is a very pregnant red one in here somewhere. Don't know where, but it's in here. Could be that one. Oh, it just disappeared out of sight in the back. So yeah, that's the current status of the red tank. And then we move over to the blues. See, there's quite a bit of shrimp in this tank as well. There's also a guppy. There's also a male bristlenose who you can see him back down. He's made the filter his home. Even though he has a cave, he's claimed that filter. He's always over there. There's also, I put 2 nearite snails in here. However, unfortunately, that one is dead. It has not moved at all in hours. So I didn't think it was alive when I found it. There is a second one in here that is alive, however. I have no idea where it's at right now. But yeah, the blue shrimp are all doing pretty good. They've all seemed to adjust. They're probably loving this compared to what they used to have. I definitely learned my lesson. I will advise anyone, if you want to start a shrimp colony, do not use a 5-gallon. It works okay for a starter, but once they start to breed, it's better to have a bigger tank to start with and go from there. But yeah, you can see how they've already buried some stuff. Like, I don't know who's moving stuff around, if the shrimp are doing that or if it's the pleco. But like right there, there's supposed to be a spot to grow a plant. They have completely covered it with sand, which is okay. I'm still going to plant the plant over there. Like I said, once I can order them, once the heat breaks and I can have something shipped to Arizona. But yeah, all 4 tanks are doing quite well. I'm very, very pleased with the progress so far. And now that I'm getting them in and populated, I'll be able to go back and start doing some of the time-lapse videos and the better shrimp content, in my opinion. It just shows more of them. So, stay tuned. Just a quick little addition to the video. I have now accounted for all snails. There's both of them for the green colony are alive. I just put them in there. One's alive, one is not in there. Both the red snails perished. One's alive, one is not in here. So I have to get a few more snails. But I was walking by and happened to see them in here, so I grabbed them. And that's basically how it's going. When I come through the room, if I see something that needs to be caught and transferred, I do it real quick. So, hope you're enjoying. Stay tuned for more.